Hey everybody, it's Derek with The Ultimate Hang, and I've got some new gear I wanted to show that I've been asked to test from a new company I haven't heard of before called Montem. They actually reached out to me to test their trekking poles, and I said, you know, most of the time I'm looking at hammock gear. They said, oh, we've got a hammock gear too. So I'm actually gonna do a separate review on this hammock strap and quilt that they sent me. But I first wanted to take a look at this carbon fiber trekking pole. To be honest, from a no-name company, or at least a company that I was not familiar with, I didn't have really high expectations. However, you know, looking at the reviews online as well as taking this for test runs myself, I've kind of changed my mind a little bit. I'm a fan of trekking poles. I use them all the time when I go backpacking, sometimes hiking, because not only are they really versatile, you know, I use them to prop up my tarp when I'm going hammock camping, but just in terms of hiking, I find them extremely helpful, especially on ascents and descents, sometimes actually cruising along. Let me show you a couple of things about these trekking poles. They're obviously telescoping trekking poles, carbon fiber. The grips are actually an EVO foam. Looking at them, you'd think they were a cork, but they're just patterned that way. So EVO foam, the poles telescope from what I have here, 24 to 53 inches. They have your standard carbide tips with removable rubber gasket and removable baskets. I always tend to lose these baskets. They tend to roll off pretty easily. I'll take some photos close up of the adjustment pieces. This is what's really interesting to me because they're a little bit different than what I'm used to. They have a nice locking mechanism, but on my first usage of these trekking poles, I noticed that the poles, as I was hiking, they started slipping and sliding back down. The adjustment is very similar to like on my bicycle, like the quick adjusts that you might find on a bicycle. So I found that by twisting this knob here, tightening it down pretty good, I was able to get it to lock. There's a couple of reviews that mention the sliding, but that's easily remedied by just tightening this down, making sure that you're tightening this bolt pretty well, and I've had no problems. So what else do we have? Carbon fiber shafts. They're 7.6 ounces per pole, so nice and light. We've got a nylon wrist strap that's also adjustable on the end. I think the big win for these trekking poles is their price. The MSRP on these is $75, which is pretty remarkable for a carbon fiber shaft. I know that the locking mechanisms are a little different than some people are used to, and I know that the EVO foam, I'm gonna have to watch this over time. I mean, I've only been using these for a few weeks, and you know, there's no problems there. I do like the additional choke right here. Typically when I'm hiking, you know, downhill, I'll use these grips. When I go uphill, I might choke up a little bit, and it's nice to have these grips a little bit lower with the stopper here. I found that very useful. Anyways, we'll check these guys out. Montem, they've got a website where you can get these. They also have a few retail shops you can pick them up as well, but I think they're pretty awesome. So, next up, hammocks.